arrive shackled and seemingly shell-shocked, bound for a prison where the past is erased and the future is a door that never opens. More than 250 alleged criminals deported from the U.S. arriving in El Salvador over the weekend. Most are from Venezuela, accused of belonging to Agua, a violent transnational gang. Their destination? El Salvador's terrorism confinement center, known as Sekuot, a supermax prison built by President Nayib Bukele to house his country's most dangerous criminals. One by one, hundreds of guards process these new arrivals, who are stripped of choice, power, and identity. It'll cost the U.S. about $6 million to keep them here for at least the first year. These images, released by El Salvador's government and proudly shared online by President Bukele, highlight his controversial yet seemingly effective gang crackdown, while also positioning him firmly in President Trump's good graces, helping to fulfill Trump's mass deportation promises. President Trump thanking Bukele for his understanding of this horrible situation, adding, "We will not forget." Sekuot was built to contain, to isolate. All right, we're gonna go in here. And late last year, we stepped inside to see it for ourselves. These men described as the worst of the worst, tattooed with reminders of El Salvador's dark past. It's tense and uncomfortable, but here, officials say comfort isn't meant to exist. There's no mattresses, there's no sheets. You've got a toilet over here for them to go to the bathroom. You've got this basin here that they use to bathe themselves. And then you can see there's a barrel of water that they can drink from. And he says there's always somebody standing here in front of the cells. And then if you look up, there's another corridor with more security personnel. Luz 24 horas. 24/7 light. The prison sits like an isolated fortress, nestled in mountainous terrain, about an hour and a half drive from the capital. It's been equated to 7 football stadiums. It's almost multiple prisons within the prison. The far end, you have one that's 9 meters high of concrete, and then above that, 3 meters of electrified fencing.
At 15,000 volts.
15,000 volts. More than 1,000 security personnel, guards, police, and military are stationed on site. Inmates are assigned to one of 8 sectors. Each sector holds more than 24 large cells. Roughly 80 inmates per cell, but it can fluctuate. What is it like to live here?
It's probably not a hotel 5-star, but they give you the 3 times the food. They give you some programs. You go to do exercise.
Ejercicio nosotros lo podemos repetir siempre.
Some church religion programs too.
But that's limited to just 30 minutes a day. The other 23 and a half hours, they're kept inside and locked up. For inmates who get violent with other prisoners or guards, we're going to close the door. I just want to get a sense of, wow. Solitary confinement awaits. The only light you get is through this hole. They can be in here for 15 days, potentially. All right, I'm ready to get out. Critics point specifically to the prison's strict control and isolation of inmates, calling it a violation of human rights. The director brought up that a lot of folks will raise concerns from a human rights perspective and an abuse of human rights, that he's calm hearing that because he sees it day to day, the process they go through to maintain, as he sees it, proper punishment. And now, that proper punishment isn't just for alleged Salvadoran criminals, it's also for those the U.S. decides to send away. An outsourcing of confinement into Bukele's prized prison, merciless for those inside, but to many beyond these walls, Sekuot stands as a symbol of El Salvador's restored security.